Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 5th, and today it's another episode of the Orange series where basically we're just going to dive into some Bitcoin stuff, try to learn together based on, the history, based on current data, based on what I'm doing. And again, different type of series. One day or eventually I'm going to have some guests on, I think, people who I guess I would consider knowledgeable in the space, if they're willing, of course, to come on bright and early, to hopefully educate us and answer some questions. But that's down the road. So I'll start to line maybe one a month or one every 2 months. So yeah, if you're listening and you're a Bitcoin MSTR or whatever expert, hey, reach out. We could talk. All right, let's get to it. All right, Bitcoin update on Coin Market Cap. It's down. Always down. Let's look at the 1 week. This is the 24-hour. Looks pretty rough. Let's look at the 1 week. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I noticed this. They're putting like little things on here. You click it. Binance to convert Seifu fund reserves to Bitcoin. All right, that's good news. Didn't really do anything. And then here, Binance Seifu fund is bought 1,315 Bitcoin, which is 100.7 million. That's good news. Nothing really happened though. All right, what if you click out 1 month? We got more. Oh, there's something here. Morgan Stanley files for Bitcoin Solana ETFs. All right. You see and you hear typically good news about, companies buying Bitcoin or getting involved with Bitcoin. But when you look at the chart, this is what you see as of late. So I think we're all kind of getting used to it. And there is a lot of negativity because sometimes, well, in the past, when I would do a crypto post on X, it would do well and get a lot of positive feedback. But now I'm actually starting to get a lot of negative feedback about Bitcoin, which I get it. People are pissed. Maybe they sold out. I mean, I don't know. But it just shows like the frustration is out there for sure. But, again, like I said, it took me a long time to commit and, believe in this investment, as basically I just consider it, as they say, the finite availability of it, right? You can't change it. It's a store of value. It's not going, no one can reproduce it. It is what it is. And I'm in it to make money. I don't really care what happens with the minuscule things, but in the end, I'm in it to make money. So, but in the process, of course, yeah, I need to know more about it. I really do. Because if I'm going to invest in it, if I'm going to talk about it, I need to be a pro, bro. All right, so let's get to the file. All right, so here is Orange, obviously. And good morning, everyone. I know we're live and we're early, and I woke up late. So give me a little bit. Good morning, Sergio. Appreciate you being here all the time. Double D, you as well. Hope to have you talk to you on Monday, have you on the show. The other options gurus. Alan Wynn, good morning. And Dedu Corp Man. I don't know why it's so hard to say. Dedu Corp Man. Good morning. All right, let's all wake up together. Oh, Bruce is early. Bruce, you didn't even miss anything. I'm just yip-yapping about, I don't even know, to be honest. Oh, we got someone from X. Holy crap. The Stocks King is from X. Good morning. I don't know how the delay works on the X comments, but it's good to see that someone's actually commenting from X because nobody usually does. So you two people, you guys can say good morning to him, but obviously I don't think he'll see it unless I pull it up, if that makes sense. All right, so as you guys know, if you're new to the series, I've been doing a little bit here and there. This is the third week working on this. So I covered my first buy, nothing crazy. I just wanted to show like informational. I first got involved with Bitcoin in 2017, December. And yeah, I was buying dribs and drabs. I was looking into different things, and the price, you could see the price of it was 17,000. Um, but then I eventually got out because I got, kind of ponzied in a way, and just salty about it. So plus I was of the mindset, oh, it's too late. You got to get into the other coins to make money, which of course, yeah, it was the wrong mentality, but it is what it is. All right. And then last week I covered the history of Bitcoin, right? Um, I think that was a good video. I worked hard on that one actually. So if you're interested in that, go back and watch it. I think it was a good one. And then this week, it's kind of a combination of two. Um, you know, One is like, what what do you, when we talk about Bitcoin transactions, like what is blockchain? How do you read it? And then the other is the top of the crop, as Macho Man says. All right. So we do track the top treasury companies, but I want to start tracking some other top things. But first, let me click this link. We're going to get some sources here. Help me out. How to read a blockchain transaction history. I'm not really going to dive into this too much, but we definitely need some coffee. Give me a sec. Stock King says, I see every comment at the left bottom of the screen. Okay. You see YouTube comments on X? Morning, brother. How's it going? That's right, Randy Savage. Watching a video on his brother, Lenny Poffo. He was the worst, man. He just talks crap about everyone. But Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah. All right, anyway. I don't know if they zoomed in enough. Blockchains are public ledgers, meaning anyone can see all transactions ever made. And that's what people always liked. Like, you know, whether people are buying, selling, Bitcoin's moving in and out, you can see everything. You can't see names, right? But you see addresses. You can use block explorers to easily navigate and search your Bitcoin history. Now, when I got involved with shitcoins, I used this block explorer stuff for not Bitcoin transactions, but for like Binance transactions, BNB they call it, or Ethereum transactions. You guys know Ethereum, ETH. And you could see, like, because if you're getting involved with new projects, you're looking for, like, number one, like, is there the biggest holder? What's the biggest holder hold? So you want to make sure no one's going to rug pull you, meaning take all their money out when the price goes up. Or you also want to see, like, are there any big buys coming through? I couldn't really find the detailed block explorer for Bitcoin per se, but I did find a few websites, which I'll show you. And it says the transaction's main elements are the ID, sending and receiving address, the associated fees. Again, yes, there's fees associated every time you send a crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. And then ledger wallet that allows you to access block. Yeah, so if you have a wallet where you store Bitcoin or, again, whatever crypto, you can also view the blockchain explorer, whatever. All right. Don't trust verify blockchain transactions. Okay. How to read it. What is Block Explorer? Let's read that. Block Explorers allow you to look up the balance of individual addresses that you enter or transaction details of any transaction ID that you fill in. So if you know someone's wallet address, you can check like what they're doing. All of their histories, it's on there, which is crazy. How to choose a block explorer. I guess there's many, right? So for Bitcoin, the most popular one, I don't think I clicked this. Block. All right. So here you can see blocks, transactions. Yeah. So here's like I guess, transaction ID, and you can see, like, again, this is tough to look at right now, especially this early in the morning. But again, nothing's hidden. It's all out there. All right. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got here. And then, yeah, here's a nice visual. You could see, like, all right, the hash ID, the sending address, the various things, the fees, the receiving address, transaction status, That's important. You want to make sure your transactions actually go through, because again, people use wallets, or they use, you always hear cold storage, right? Because they send their Bitcoin to cold storage. One of the famous sayings is, "You don't own your Bitcoin till it's in cold storage." I'm not gonna get into that right now. That's a conversation. That'll be a whole video. Because I'd like to have someone come on and talk about like why they would believe in that versus like just owning it through the brokerage, or the like the Coinbases of the world. All right. Anyway, so that's that. I'm gonna close this out, and we'll go here, and we have blockchain tracking websites, and then I chose 3. I guess there's a bunch of them. This is a cool looking one. Again, it just shows you all the transactions and when they were done. And again, very, very busy website. 251,000. Oh, let's see how quick this is. Recent transactions, just 1.9 million. And you can click these at any point in time to view it, right? I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get a big one. That's what she said. I know. Let's see. Nothing big. Give me a mill. Come on. We had them in the beginning. Where the hell are they? I missed it. Oh, freaking. The dollar's the fee. Yeah, I clicked the $109 one. Damn it. All right, so details. All right, whatever. All right, so that's one website. And then there's Blockstream Info. Okay, oh, that was the one we were just on, so I'm not going to go through that. This is my favorite, though, because this is like cool looking. It's just live, pumping it out on the right. Boom, boom, boom. And you can see the transactions, unconfirmed, it says transactions coming through. So if you're bored, if you don't have a job and you just want to sit and watch Bitcoin transactions, here you go. This is your dream, I guess, right? And then, of course, you could explore other assets. There's not just Bitcoin, although I only really buy Bitcoin, but there's plenty of others if you dare to play around with them. Okay, moving on, let's go to the treasury companies. So I'm going to give you guys an update on the top 20 treasury companies. Make sure, yeah, we got about 150 Zoom, but since we are live, let me say, let me catch up on the comments to see what's going on. There's Marcia, Educator Mom. She's here to educate us on Bitcoin, so hopefully she can. Here's the cold storage comment. It's vital to preserve value. It mitigates the rug pulling you described earlier. A1, good morning. All right, so let's go to here. All right, so here's the updated value. The top 20 treasury companies, Bitcoin treasury companies, strategy still number 1 by a long shot. I mean, Mara has a lot of Bitcoin actually. But I have the change as well. So if I look from February 4th, which was yesterday, to the week prior, they added 855 Bitcoin. So they remain number 1. So 1 through 9, they did not change, So strategy, Mara, 21 Capital, Metaplanet. A lot of people heard of Metaplanet. Bitcoin Standard Treasury Companies. I mean, how generic in the name can you get with that? Bullish, pretty cool name. Riot, Coinbase, of course, Hut 8. And then CleanSpark took back their number 10, right? Because Strive took it last week, but Strive did not add any Bitcoin this week. CleanSpark did, so they took back their 10 spot. So they're now in the top 10. Okay, then outside of that, same old order. Trump Media, Tesla, Block, Kango, GD Culture. Kango did add 108, though, for what it's worth. Galaxy Digital, American Bitcoin Corp, Next Technology, and Nakamoto in 20. But of like the country, you could see US has like 18 of the top 20 for what it's worth. All right, so now this is a new tab. Again, we talked about transactions a little, which again, I'm no expert there. So give me as I learn, we will share more. Let me freeze. Can I freeze this? Yeah, freeze that. There you go. All right. So yeah, let's zoom in so you guys can see. So I did. There's another website I found. I think what was it called? BitBio or bitbo.io. Um, so I'm looking up by category who owns the most Bitcoin. ETFs actually hold a lot, a lot of Bitcoin. So when you see Bitcoin move the way it does with the market, again, I'm not sure like how often they buy and sell their Bitcoin, but I assume it's somehow tied to the actual Bitcoin on maybe Coinbase. Some of these guys use Coinbase, but it kind of explains how Bitcoin can dip the way it is, right? Because if you think about the people that own Bitcoin on Coinbase or Kraken or Binance versus the people that own through an ETF, the people that probably prefer to only own it through an ETF, my guess is they're more likely to get rid of it, right? Because they're newer to it. And it just tells you they only trust the brokerage, to hold their Bitcoin, right? So maybe since the overall market was selling off, obviously Bitcoin, of course, yes, it's going to sell off because that may be the last thing that they trust in their portfolio. All right. But ETFs hold a large number, 7%. Wow, the 21 million countries overall. I don't even know how they classify this. I mean, technically, all the countries should own most. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. Public companies own 5. Obviously, a lot of that is going to be, your boy. Private companies, and then mining companies, and then DeFi. All right, so whatever. I just wanted to show you the ETF percentage of that, and then if we look at like country, I know Trump's been talking about he doesn't want China to get ahead of them as far as owning more of Bitcoin in general, but it's rather close. It's not much, right? They don't own much, so it's I guess maybe a little rat race there. Who's going to win, right? And then there's third place, UK, Ukraine, and then down and down and down. But obviously, not too many countries listed there. I'm not sure how current this data is, by the way. And then we talked about ETFs earlier. Who is the top ETF? Well, no surprise, it's IBIT. The BlackRock one. I'm not gonna lie. If people ask me, if they want to, like I had someone ask me the other day, like, where can I buy Bitcoin? And he's showing me its brokerage. I'm like, well, you have to buy an ETF, so you can't really buy it on the brokerage directly. I know some brokerages you can, but not the one he was using. So I default to IBIT. I'm not gonna lie. It's easy to say, and it's is it one you trust overall? I mean, yeah, obviously the Fidelity one has what FBTC, but yeah, I don't know. So that's why that is the most popular one. So they are far ahead of all these other suckers here. Grayscale always had something going on before, and I know their fees were always high, but they're doing rather well. But they were kind of ahead of everyone else too. But anyway, that's the rankings. I don't know if that interests you guys, but I'm going to start tracking it, and then next week I'll pull it up. I just want to kind of see like the change, like how the ETFs, the numbers change if they do, and then the countries, the numbers change and whatnot. But yeah, if you click this link, you can see all this data. I didn't show you the public companies, but obviously, strategy, we already know. Then there's private companies down further. We went through the countries. Here's the private companies. Block.one, Tether Holdings. Yeah, they own a decent amount. Pepperoni Software. There you go. Sleeper pick right there. Wow. All right. So yeah, there's a lot there. It's just cool information. I don't know how the hell they pull it. Probably automatically. Bitcoin mining companies that own Bitcoin. Mara's obviously going to be the top of that one. And then some others. And DeFi. Okay, so moving along. That's the top of the crop, brother. Let me catch up on some comments, see if you guys are awake or not. Storing off-chain reduces liquidity at a macro level. The process serves to further normalize transactional harvesting. Every transaction occurring fee to conduct business. Hit that like per D2 Corp man. D2 Corp man. Dedu Corp man. All right, so let's go to the preferred stock listing. No update here. Again, I'm only messing around with these two, STRC and SATA. There's Strategy has 4 preferred stocks that have different type of, I guess, strategies or whatever you want to call it. But STRC is the one that kind of caught my eye. Stable nav at 100, right? Ideally. Same thing with SATA. SATA is like the STRC of Strive. So that's why I kind of, like that one. All right, so this part, I didn't get to fill it in because, again, I woke up late. I had all plans to fill this in. So let's be lazy. Let's just do this. Preferred stock, we're going to pick STRC. And then, obviously, we're going to pick SATA. We want to see, like, what the yield on cost is based on the current price. So the current price of STRC is 97. Again, they're like par value. Yeah, it's called par nav. Par nav, we'll fill that in. Both of these are 100 bucks, right? 100 bucks. There you go. I'll do the format for you guys too. All right, then SATA's price is at, where are we at? Current stuff, 90. Wow, 90. Okay, so we'll shrink this. Now we'll get the yield. So STRC, if we go to their website, you could see STRC has a current yield of 11.25%. And then SATA, go to Strive's website. I don't know what their current yield is. They don't make it easy to find these things here. Credit, is it under credit? Preferred stocks. Here it is. But where's the ticker? Preferred stock. That sounds about right. 12.25%. Because I know it's higher than STRC. All right, so this is their yields based on the par nav of 100. So their annual dividend will be obviously the 100 times the yield. So you'd be getting around 11.25 per year for STRC, and then 12.25 per year on SATA. Right, let me wrap the text here. There's the button. It's not even there. Come on, bro. All right. So yield on cost. Again, that's the yield based on the 100. The yield based on the discounted price at the moment. You take the 11.25, you divide it by the 97, and you get these suckers. You get so the 11.48% and 13.6. So I don't know about you guys, but I consider when I see both of these below their $100 NAV, which, yeah, it's happening a lot lately because everything's going down. So they've been kind of going down with the ship. So yeah, if this is greater than the yield here, then there you go. then you can get, if you buy it at 97, have a cost base of 97, you're going to have, as long as they're paying this 11.25, you're going to have a nice yield on cost. Again, there's risk with these, of course, just like there's risk with anything. But I just wanted to share this. Maybe I'll update this. Well, this will kind of be updated automatically now, going forward. But I'll have to keep an eye on if their yields change and how frequent they do change. If you're in the chat, if you're listening live, let me know your thoughts on these funds. Do you own these funds, or are they not high yield enough for you? Question from the Stocks King. Again, a lot of X comments. I know it's from the same person, but I love it. All right. Do you own gold or gold assets? It is the oldest store value, proven and scarce. What is your main reason to go with Bitcoin? Do I currently own gold? No. Do I want to? Kind of. Obviously, I'm trying to watch it, and silver and copper. But the argument against gold is they can go drill it, go drill and get more, right? It never ends, right? And some of these countries, they have, I don't know. Again, I don't, that's a good conversation, gold versus Bitcoin. That could be a topic for a video, right? And you get a gold person on and a Bitcoin person on. To me, again, I'm not here to argue which one's better. I'm just here to make money. So if I can make money on gold and Bitcoin, guess what? I'm going to own both. Right now, gold's been running, so it's a little hard to, look at that and jump in now. Obviously, it's a little, after the fact, but it doesn't mean it's not going to still keep rising. We see silver. I've missed many opportunities on silver, but yeah, good question. Good morning, Wolf. LA's late. Sorry. Yeah, LA. I keep missing your premieres. I'll be there today. I will. Unless my kids, you know how it is. All right. Let's see. Sergio owns STRC. LA hasn't gotten it. Double D off to work. Have a great day. Wolf needs higher yield. Morning, Nikki. All right. All right, let's keep going. So what else I got going here? I got more tabs. All right, so now the daily change. So what I do here is I update, this pulls the Google Finance. Let's see how current it is. 70,125. Let's go to CoinMarketCap, hit refresh. 70,000, 78. So yeah, it's not too current, but close enough. But anyway, Bitcoin supply from last week, the circulating supply is now at 2,831 increase. So again, in circulation, we have 19,984, 493 Bitcoin, which is, which leaves about 1,015,000 Bitcoin left, 4.84% of the total supply. All right, for whatever that's worth. MSTR Bitcoin, they added 855. We talked about that on the other page, but I did confirm it that website was accurate. Their MNAV went up 5% to 1.1. MSTR price since last week has dropped 18.53%. Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. You can see MSTR price is at 129. So again, they hold Bitcoin. They're a Bitcoin treasury company. Bitcoin's been going down. They're going down with it. So yeah, it's been a rough one. So let's check this STRC. How did that manage in this? It only went down 1%. So, in the scheme of things, yeah, it's looking rather good. Let's move on. Now we got ASST. So they did not add Bitcoin. Again, ASST is Strive. They did not add Bitcoin over the past week. Their MNAV did not change, which I guess makes sense if they didn't have Bitcoin. And then ASST stock, that went down substantially. They went down 26%. So they actually went down much more than MSTR. MSTR went down 18%. And then SATA over the past week, also big drop, down to 7.39%. So pretty big drop for them. So now I know, like for STRC, when they dropped to like 90, I think they raised their dividend yield, and that caused more people to buy into the fund, raising the value of the preferred stock. So I think that's what they may do, although they're already at a pretty high yield. So I'm not sure, man. It's just getting crazy out there right now. It's not good. It's a little rough out there. So again, this is my information. I've been buying Bitcoin, MSTR, STRC, ASST, and SATA myself on a daily basis, $10 for each. This past weekend when Bitcoin was dipping, I said, screw it. And I threw like, I think it was like $1,300 in. Obviously it's not showing it because it's dropped so much since then, but I wanted to get to 0.1, and I saw the dip. I'm like, all right, let's get to 0.1. Let's hit that goal. And we hit it. All right. So to me, yes, this is a milestone. So maybe I'll highlight it as a milestone. Gold. There you go. Gold milestone right there. Although that's bronze, maybe bronze. But yeah, you can see the value went up. But again, it should have gone up a lot more. But Bitcoin has been dropping drastically. In fact, I used it based on 72,000, which was yesterday's price. Now this morning it's at 70,000. So this is actually worth less. Now, if we look at MSTR, I didn't add any extra outside of $10 per day. So you can see I do own more MSTR, but the value has gone down because the MSTR price has gone down. STRC, I own more, obviously, of that. I did buy actually $300 additional yesterday because it's below the $100. So I want to start to build up a nice little income powerhouse in my Robinhood account. To help, eventually pay for bills, things like that. Right now, it's going to help pay for the daily buys. Moving on, ASST, I had an unusual issue. My reoccurring buy, you could see it says investment pause. Buying ASST is currently not supported on Robinhood. Your investment will resume as soon as buying ASST is supported again. So I tried to buy it directly and it worked. So buying it worked, but I canceled the reoccurring buy and I tried it again, but it said it won't work with fractional shares. But then I was told they have a reverse split this Friday. So maybe that's part of the reason. But either way, I did add an additional 30 manually yesterday, making the value a little higher. SATA, you can see I own a little more, increasing the value there. So this is the total value that's showing. So obviously it did go up, which is great, but it didn't go up with any thanks to the value of the funds going up, because that did not happen, which, it sucks, but it is what it is. We're averaging down, right? We're not by choice, but it's a bonus, I guess. Because we did not get in cheap, right? When you buy Bitcoin in chunks, I was buying daily when it was well over 100, right? Would have hit 125. What was their high? Let's go back and think about that now. Let's do over the past year. 124, 123. Yeah. Wow. Look at all these. What is that? U.S. Treasury is authorized to include seized digital assets. Okay. Metaplanet has closed international offering. I don't know. Did they always have this? I like this stuff now. But if I look over the week, yeah, even over the week, they do have like the Binance stuff. Okay, so that's the update on my funds right there. Let's go to payouts. This is how much in dividends I got for the month of February, or will get, I should say. $14.43 from STRC. Yield. Well, the yield is 11.25. Actually, we just went over that. 0.25. And Yield here is 12.25, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it went up. Did they change theirs as well? Maybe that was a recent change. I don't know. So total income for February, again, this is on the separate Robinhood account, is $15.25. I know. It's hilarious, right? But what will that buy me? What bill does this pay? No bill, basically. It buys me like 3 coffees, right? If I'm gonna go to like Dunkin' Donuts and I get 3 coffees, or Starbucks, yeah, this is really. I mean, some coffees, maybe not Dunkin', but a lot of these places you go to now, this is a coffee is like $5, which is stupid. Even just a plain black coffee. But who would have thought? I know. Who's that? Mr. Wonderful, the guy from CNBC. He always bitches about people who waste their money on coffee, which is hilarious, and he's actually right. But for a lot of people, it's the convenience. All right, so let's see. I sold my SGov and put it into. Everyone always talks about SGov. I should probably know what that is, but I do not. SGOV. Ah, it's a treasury bond. Yeah, no, thank you. What's their yield? 4%. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Better off just holding your stuff in Robinhood. I mean, they'll pay more. So, but yeah, SGov. I'm sorry. I'm just no, thank you for that. All right, here we go with the barking. All right, let's see. Good morning, Bruce. Have been sleeping in. Had some early doctor appointments. Individual investors are the necessary cash flow that demonstrates worth when the money stops flowing into Bitcoin, stalls and drops because it's independent. All right, I'm gonna let this dog out. Give me a sec. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, CG. Marketing through scarcity and FOMO instead of utility and functionality. All right. Where are we? We're 38 minutes in. We got about 131 people between YouTube and X. We did the coverage that I was going to plan. But let me know what you guys think I should add. Again, I got 2 more tabs. One is, I was starting to build out the Strive team, go through some information, but I'm not sure how exciting that's going to be. And then this part, I don't know. I was taking ideas from the prior video. So from the prior video, you guys said shitcoins and country stance on Bitcoin. So are there any other, ideas for those of you that are live, at least? If you have any ideas, guests obviously is something I want to do. But any other like Bitcoin topics that you want me to research and talk about in the next video? Let's see. How about Bruce? Bruce, I think you're in a lot of crypto stuff. Is there anything crypto related that you want to go over? All right, I'm going to have to let her up. Give me a second. This dog didn't bark when we got her. Now she's getting comfortable. And yeah. All right. So strategy is just a BTC bond fund. What happens when you chase high yields? Yeah. Well, what happens when you chase high yield? A lot of things. Rod, did you notice NEOs are now paying in a way that you could receive weekly payouts according with different ETFs? Not sure what you mean, but are you talking about the new high yield funds? Um, I haven't looked at them. Bitcoin's cost of running the infrastructure as Bitcoin mining goes down. What is the number of transactions and coin price we need before it is unprofitable to run? What is the number of transactions and coin price we need? Before what's unprofitable? A Bitcoin mining company? Yeah, that's good question, right? Because again, the supply, that's why I'm tracking it here. Where is it? You know, if we're showing this is the supply left, like what, you know, when there's no when all the Bitcoin is now in circulation, like what happens? Obviously, it's on supply and the true supply and demand. You don't have to mine any new Bitcoin, right? So you don't need those companies, I would assume. But I don't know. But I think from what someone has a number of like when the last Bitcoin is going to be mined approximately. Wolf, I still own my Misty, and yes, it's down, but only need 573 until it's completely paid from maybe this year. Well, again, I mean, I don't know what to say. Bitcoin in general, it's been down a lot. So MSTR has been down a lot, and it's no matter what the strategy is, if it owns MSTR as the underlying, it's not good. I mean, BMNU, I was looking at that thing because I was trading options on that at one time, and I got out. I took the loss. That was one I actually learned. I'm like, I am. This thing is bad news. If you look over the 1 year, like the 1 year, it's just I can't believe this. Like these leverage funds, they're fun and all, but this thing, what was the high? Was that 30? Wow, I can't. Wow. BTC need energy, servers, miners, etc. They have cost and are not doing it for free. You'll be paying it through the massive data centers and the compromise of actual finite resource. NEOS are paying monthly, but they have changed when each ETF pays. Oh, okay. Creative. I mean, I still think, I think we're also used to now getting paid weekly. It's just so ridiculous if you think about it, but it's awesome. It's great to get paid weekly, because again, I always growing up, like when you got a job and if it paid weekly, oh my God, that was heaven. But then, when you get like we'll say a big boy job, most of the big boy jobs, corporate America, basically, they pay biweekly, which sucked when you're young because, you just want to waste all your money. I did, at least. How about the theoretical risk of quantum computing to the blockchain digital signatures? Yeah, what he said. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. All right, so okay, here is the info. Week 1, NEO's boosted high income ETFs. Okay, so hedged. Oh, so they got like a family of things. Boosted ETFs, enhanced fixed income, oh my goodness. Good for them though. They've been very quiet, like in the hiding in the corner for a long time with their little spy eye, which again, it just works. They don't have to do anything; it just works. But people that don't have money to live well are betting on moon instead of investing. It's future speculation. Yeah, that's why they always say, well, who says it? Dave Ramsey. Only the poor people, or mostly poor people, buy lottery tickets because it gives them hope, right? It gives them hope of the big wins. And now Bitcoin, yeah, for the people getting into it now or whenever, so a lot of them hope, it gives them hope. But that's why I got into the shit coins, the ones where you just get into early on projects and you hope they turn into something big, and it's you want the big wins, you know. Everything is future speculating, getting up in the morning speculating. Ivy died. I came back, so risk on F-it life, nothing but speculation. Yeah, man, it's true. Like, look at the stock market. I mean, the Qs, the whole indexes. I mean, granted, the whole thing is like, yeah, like you said, that's the word, speculation, and it's stock market. You think about like shorts. The companies that are shorting other companies. Like, how ridiculous is that, right? Regardless, even if you believe in a company, if a company gets shorted and actually, what can you do? Or again, what's happening with Bitcoin? Are we going to know? I don't know. I don't know what the hell's happening, but there's certainly a lot of true hardcore Bitcoin buy and hold. There's treasury companies buying and holding. So but there is so much supply that, that's why it moves. It can still move down. But all right. Any other question? What else should we do? Should we look up anything else? I don't even know. News. There you go. News. Stock market winners suffered their worst day in 6 years. Oh, that's great news, right? We're just one great thing after that. Well, Elf had good earnings. For those of you counting, Elf is up 7% in the pre-market at $90. So maybe that's worth it. I don't know. All right, let's see what else you guys yapping about. Sergio, I always focus on tax advantage versus profits like dividends when I invest, trying to teach my kids about it. Yeah, that's one thing I told myself this year, which is why, return of capital. Think about that. That is a weapon. That is a really good weapon to use, especially when it comes to these STRC and SATA funds. These are 100% return of capital. And then even when it's done, even when your cost basis is zero, you'll get them paid out as capital gains, which is great. Again, everything I've read up says that. I have to wait 10 years to prove it, to see if it actually works. But I like that. I like that thought. But yeah, no, as far as like, I was trying to listen to Michael Saylor interview, and he was talking about like, the rich people, they don't really claim an income. Like, they borrow, right? They borrow on assets and at a lower rate, and they make money at a higher rate. And again, the world goes round and round. But that's, for us Joe Schmoes, it's hard to borrow on, the little that we have. But if you think about, like, I don't know, how can you, again, these are things like I'm trying to minimize taxes for this year, right? The best that I can. And because if you think about what I'm doing now, it's all options. I'm just trading options, and I have to pay, the regular income tax on that, just like as, working tax. And, that sucks. I'm not going to lie, because it's, maybe 23% versus the capital gains tax of 15. So that is an important part to consider. That's 8% coming off the top, right? But what do you do? I don't know. We got to think about it. Yeah, exactly. We can borrow against our portfolio. Just get yourself a margin account. So that's one way. Or, you could always, because I can't touch my 401k, you could get a 401k loan, right? Then I could put in Robinhood, and then Robinhood can give me margin on that loan. And then I could really, but again, if you know what the hell you're doing, you don't screw it up. if you invested in freaking MSTR, you would have lost your ass by now, right? So you got to be in some safer funds that would essentially pay you off the interest plus and then some. Yeah, it's the Elon Musk. It's the every rich person way, right? They have their accountants. They know what they're doing, right? We're just the schmucks out here, paying the taxes, the middle class, right? It's all us. And they're paying what, zero, because they're doing it's legal, right? They're doing it the right way, and we're just, we're playing from behind, right? So, but that's a deep topic for another day. Taxes and costs will rise. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, all right, the people that doing the traditional 401k, the pre-tax, yeah, oh, okay, you're deferring the tax. That's great. But do you realize taxes are going up? They will go up. I mean, there's no way they don't. I mean, if they don't, that's great, but the odds are, very slim the way the government, knows how to budget. Back in the day, we were told to put our money into SHD and live out of those dividends. Well, to be honest, Sergio, that's better than telling us to take from our capital, right? Because what you hear is the 4% rule. 4% rule, they tell you take 4% off the top, right? At least SHD, I think they pay more than 4%. What's their yield at? Oh God, they don't. They pay 3.38%. The dividend growth rate's not even that good. There's got to be. I mean, I rip on SHD a little bit sometimes. It's not a bad fund, but there's better funds. Like this is bad. This is not. The whole point of this, and you're really going to get only a 5.35% dividend growth rate. Like, that's not enough, man. Especially my starting yield's at 3. I don't know, man. What do they hold? What's their top holdings? Lockheed Martin, Texas Instruments, Chevron. Yeah, I don't know, man. Verizon. My God. All right. When they borrow, it is safe money, and when they need to pay the taxes, it is unrealized and unsafe. Use the system, don't fight it. Yep. All right, that's a topic we gotta talk about it. We gotta learn from each other. That's why I end up, creating this community. Because who the hell are you going to talk about this crap in real life? Like your coworkers, your friends, your family, they don't want to talk about this. They don't. Good luck. I mean, if you know people, that's awesome, but it's really hard. But that's why I have, again, the Discord is for all this yip yap. But maybe we'll create a channel for I don't know. Stocks King. Go in the Discord. We'll talk about it. You won a call option on Verizon. They went up. So you bought a leap, bought a call. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to home and see what the indexes look like. S&P up 0.11, NASDAQ up 0.1, Dow up 0.01, and the Russell is up 0.3. So again, yesterday was kind of brutal. A lot of it's been brutal, to be honest. So hopefully, we'll see some good things. Updated February. Oh my goodness. Kelly Services. Look at this. Pre-market gainers. Woof. Anyone we know? Not really. All right. How about losers? Any losers we know? Nope. Jim Cramer says the tech sell-off proves why. All right, whatever. Recent IPOs. And then, last thing I'll pull up is earnings. Today is Thursday. Amazon will report earnings after the close. Shell will be before the close. I don't know who the hell they are. There you go. Your boy Sony before the open, if anyone cares. Ice Baby. When do they report? Before the open. All right, we're at 55 minutes. I think that's enough yapping, right? Now, the top 1% pays 60% of the taxes. The upper class pays 30% based on the amount of taxes that are taken, 10% taken. Yeah. No, I know. They pay their share for sure. That's why, like, when the people complain, the millionaires don't pay enough. Well, they pay a lot. They're just smarter, smarter about certain things. Where can I find the link? It should be on my YouTube. I'll pin it to the top of the comments. How about that? After the video posts, unless someone else wants to share it in here. Talk to a financial advisor. They have so many regulations to go by, controlled by you. Guess it is the big boys like BlackRock, Vanguard. If they don't do their licenses, are removed. The rich pay a lower percent, but still paying. But yeah. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like they do pay their share. They're just, proportionally, they use things to their advantage, so they'll pay less probably proportionally. Peer financial groups like this one are changing the financial literacy of investing. Inverse Kramer is real because it's your money benefiting. Inverse Kramer. Yeah. Is that an actual fund? Poor guy. He's so old now. He's like, everyone always makes fun of him. It's just, I don't know. I always thought his show was cool because it was like, I never watched it, to be honest. It annoys me at the same time. I'm not saying it was a good show, but there's nothing else like that out there. And that's such a gap. And he's not normal, which I always enjoyed that part of it. Like, he's not your typical boring ass investing guru. He's just a nut job that talks about investing, which that's the part I liked. I like the unpredictability of, what he's going to say. I don't like robotic people who read from prompters and say, I am a robot. But yeah, anyway, to me, there's a huge gap on that in public television. I mean, we have YouTube for our financial crap now, right? So many freaking YouTubers. I can't believe, like, it's crazy, but good, good for them. It's awesome. I mean, look at me. I'm doing this crap too. But, and you guys are here. Appreciate you all being here. Let's see. The lightning around. Yeah, it's just, again, to take advice from him, do what you want, right? A Buffett pays 10 bill versus how many people does it take them, even less than others. Oh, buffet. All right, either I'm half asleep or I don't even know what anyone's talking about anymore, but I think I'm going to start to end it. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video was for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, I don't know what to tell you. All right. It's the Orange series. Do we end it with a song or do we just call it a day? What do you guys want to do? Should I look up an old crypto video? Yeah, I know Buffett you're talking about. He pays 10 bill. You mean his taxes you're talking about? Yeah. Some important Fed reports are coming out today. Good luck and great. Whatever, man. Whatever. Song. All right, let me find an old crypto video. I don't even know if I have many, actually. Go to videos. Oldest. I don't have crypto videos because I never talked about crypto too much, except the shit coins. But that's why I'm here, right? To educate. We did that one. That was crypto. Here comes the chaos. I got nothing here. Nothing. What is this? Man, nothing too exciting. Let's go to live. Popular. There you go. What's popular? That's not. How are these popular? There you go. Let's pull up this old interview. That'll work. The breaking news, kind of Mike Coe. When YieldMax talked to me. No, they let me have him on the show, and Jay actually joined, which is pretty cool. So let's pull it up.
Ooh. Yeah. Good morning, friends. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Built, not sold, yeah, intentionally. No hype talk, just clarity. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Mid-40s, married man, house stay loud. Raising up boys, turning boys into men. New puppy running, chaos around. Still clocking in, but he plotting the end. Giants fan scars, yeah, he wear that pain. Smiles through the losses like part of the game. Never throw shots, never talks that mess. Yeah, builds people up, less results address. Yeah, streams every day, never missing a beat. YouTube live X when the mic get heat. Not selling dreams, just showing the math. Wins and drawdowns, full on his path. Spreadsheet brain with a streetwise frame. Plays of discipline, never chasing fame. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Options on screen, risk handle precise. Structures built calm, every move got a price. Cover calls roll, protection in place. Time on his side, patience setting the pace. They say slow down, he say stay exact. Same calm tone when the market snap. Runs through mud, just to test that will. Same mindset when the chart goes still. Sings on the post, crowd laugh, he grin. Go dig a hook, but the lesson still win. Movie quotes fly, wrestling frame. Serious work, but he keep it light, man. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. If you want that life, say freedom with me. This was for fun and entertainment purposes. I hope you have fun and will entertain. And if not, I'll do better next time. And if you made it this far, and you want to make sure everybody knows.
All right, we might as well make the keyword now. So if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it, let's make the keyword today taxes, because that's been coming up in the conversation, whether good or bad, but obviously, you know, the frustration about it. But yeah, we all need to educate ourselves how to be more tax efficient. That's for damn sure. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it, taxes is the key word. Sergio, yeah, I'm guessing that won't be easy, but I don't know. He seems He seems like a tough interview because he's so damn smart. But let me work on, let's start with the lower level, all right? Let's not jump right to Michael Saylor, right? Let's set the bar. We set the bar low here in this channel, all right? So I'll reach out to some people, but if you guys have anyone else, more in my ballpark, let me know. It doesn't have to be, famous people, just people in general that you know. All right. Anyway, that's enough for one day. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Later.